Hello. Welcome. So today we're gonna be talking about an anime I just recently finished, and it's To Your Eternity. This video is going to be broken up into two parts. It's going to be broken up into a spoiler-free section and a spoiler section. So at the start of this video is just going to be the spoiler-free section. So we're going to be talking about that. So the anime starts out with a huge hook. So the basic gist of To Your Eternity is there's a powerful being who wants to preserve the world because of a threat. He creates this orb that can change into basically anything, and it's immortal. And it turns into a rock at first, and it sits there for a while until a wolf that was injured comes along, dies on it, and then it then turns into that wolf. And then it just travels along until it finds the wolf's owner. He's a young boy. The village he was in used to be populated with people, and it was they said that there would be more people out a long distance away, and the whole village besides him, because he was a kid at the time, set off to go and find new land and new people. So he's just sitting behind in this abandoned village. I won't say what else happens in episode 1 because it's really difficult to keep this spoiler free, because the first episode is heart-wrenching. Middle and end of the episode is just damn, this shit is depressing and so sad. And at the end of it, yeah, I definitely cried. I was tearing up, and then at the very end of the episode, I just oh man, that is so sad, man. The first arc of the anime was it felt like it was a lot slower than the first episode with its hook, and it was oh, who are these? Where is this immortal thing going now? So the first arc expands upon the world a lot more. You meet a new character who's a little girl. She dreams about growing up to becoming a mother, and the village that they live in has some backwards customs. The new characters really starts to grow on you, and it's the young kid could be seen as annoying for some, but she really grows on you, or me anyway. And I was especially at the end especially at the end. The second arc definitely has one of the best characters in the anime. You see him grow up as well alongside the main character, which is Fushi. That arc was definitely my favorite arc, and that left me in tears by the end of it. Episode 12, I had to take a break. That was I was feeling oh man, do I want to watch the rest of this tonight? Because this is so sad. I don't want to keep watching, but I do because I want to see more, because it's really good. The third arc starts off kind of annoying because it just feels it just happens, and it comes out of nowhere, and it's why are we here? Why are we doing this thing? Let's just leave. Don't care. These new characters are really annoying because of what they do and how they react to the world around them. Is just, honestly, it was sickening. I hated it. It was dude. But eventually Fushi starts to change how they see their situation. A antagonist from the first arc returns, and she is like becomes one of the most hated characters because she does some terrible stuff. Like, it is awful, and I was like, man, I just want her to die, like, so bad. So the third arc was probably my least favorite arc, but it was still really enjoyable. I really enjoyed watching it. At the end of the anime, it's left more open-ended because there's going to be a second season of this, which I'm really glad for, because it is, I really enjoyed season 1, so I definitely look forward to watching season 2. That section of the video might be really vague because it's a spoiler-free section. I don't really know how to put a spoiler-free for this anime because there's so many things that will just spoil your enjoyment of it. Like, I'd say out of most anime that I've watched, To Your Eternity is one you would definitely want to not be spoiled for, because it will make the heart-wrenching scenes that much more enjoyable. This part of the video is going to be the spoiler section. If you haven't watched To Your Eternity, you should go watch it, or just don't watch this section of the video. I don't know. Or you just want to watch me talk about stuff because you don't plan on watching it. I don't know. But seriously, if you do have any intention of watching To Your Eternity, please go watch it before watching this section of the video. It will be well worth it. So back to the first episode. So when the boy leaves the village to go and search for the people that left and see if they've made it to the land with like fruits, vegetation, more people, obviously. When he started like finding those rocks with the arrows pointing in the direction to go, the further he went and the more he just put on that fake smile, like, oh, we're getting closer, and then his body is just slowly getting more injured and just slowing down, and he knows he can't make the distance. And when he still kept pushing on to and putting on a smile, I was like, oh no, he's going to keep lying to himself until he dies. And it's like, oh man, that was making me tear up. Eventually him and Fushi just turn around, and then I was like, yep, dang, all that work and for nothing. It's like, and then they come back and he's super sick, injured, and his life is just slowly fading away. And I was like, dang, I'm like, so sad. And then he's like, and when he knows he's gonna die, he like gets in his chair and like says like, oh, I gotta look good for when the village comes back to see me. And I was like, oh no. Oh man. The end of that episode, I was crying. I was so sad. And I was like, and at that moment, I was just hooked. I wanted to watch the rest of the anime. I was like, dang, this is so good. In the first arc, we learn about the character March and her older sister Protona, and the stupid custom about sacrificing a child to their god, which is just so stupid, obviously. It was like, when I heard that about the sacrificing a kid, I was like, dude, is this entire anime just going to be dead kids? Because that is going... I'm going to be so mad if the entire anime is just going to be dead kids. Which... yeah, the entire anime is basically just kids dying. But not all of it, obviously, but definitely the most heart-wrenching moments are when they die. Well, one of the important characters that dies is actually an old woman, so hey, not so bad. By the end of the first arc, when March blocks an arrow from when Hayase shoots it at Parana, I'm like, oh no, it's happening. And like Parana breaking down and then like putting on the fake smile and like it's gonna be all right, and March accepting that she's actually her dream's not going to come true. She's not going to grow up and become a parent, and she tells Parana to be a mother in her place. I'm like, God damn it. Why? And that made me tear up. I was so sad at that point. After that, we move on to the second arc where we meet Gugu, one of the best characters introduced in the anime. I really enjoy how we get to see Gugu grow up alongside Fushi. I was like, because now we're really attached to Gugu. And midway through, or near the end, when the knockers attack, and well, when Gugu is still a kid, and when we learn that he can spew flames because his stomach is filled with alcohol, and it was like, by the end of that, I was like, man, I would be so I am hyped to see Gugu on this journey along with Fushi. I'm so hyped. And I was like, I swear to God, if Gugu dies. Which... So 4 years passed, and Gugu is big and beefed up, and Fushi is older, and he hasn't transformed into his other forms, so he looks older as well. And this is where you really root for Gugu to be able to hook up with Rin, and like, yes, please, Gugu. And then when the knockers attacked again, and they're in their rock form now. So when Gugu finally tells Rin that he loves her, and I was like, yes, please, come on, make it out of the rubble. And then while Fushi was fighting the knocker, he all of a sudden transforms into Gugu. And I was like, and I shouted out loud, no, 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 he is not dead. Please, he is not dead. Please, no. And of course, Gugu died. I was like, that was the part where I had to take a break. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go lay down for a bit. Because that really knocked me on my ass. I was like so upset when Gugu died. And I was like, and then at the very end of that arc where we see Rin laying out in the flowers, and she says like, oh, I won't get married because I'm in love with someone, and she can't marry him because he's not here anymore. And that's when we know that Rin is figured out that Gugu died. That made me tear up. So the rest of the anime, I was like, all right, where are we going now? And I was in the same mood as Fushi. I was like, the guy in black appears, and Fushi's just like, what's the point? I don't care anymore. Fuck off. I was like, yeah, Fushi, you and me both. Obviously, they continue when he reaches like the shipyard, and then he gets pushed into the boat. I'm like, something's not right. And then obviously something's not right. And then we figure out this whole debacle with like prisoners are just getting captured and shipped out to this prison island And then for some reason, Fushi was just there, even though he was pretty much there for no reason, and was like, this is so annoying. Why are we here? Why are we here? But he didn't want to leave. He could have just taken Pyoran out of the cell and just left. But it just felt like he was just there just because. Like, no really much of any other reason. Because he didn't like the kid group because they were super annoying, and was like, so why are we fighting this tournament? And he doesn't want to fight, and he doesn't want to kill anyone either. And it's like, it just felt like a lot of pointless stuff was happening, and he was just going along with it. But of course, we eventually reach the point where Hayase makes her reveal, and we also see that during a fight he transformed into Perona. When at that point, I didn't feel much emotion. I was like going like, wait, is Perona dead? How'd she die? Did she like kill herself, or did the Hayase kill her? When it was Hayase's and Fushi's turn to fight, Hayase revealed that she killed Perona, and then we see a flashback of when Hayase killed Perona, and I was like, and you see her strung up, and then you see like her belly is like bigger, and I was like, oh no, is Perona pregnant? And then Hayase makes the comment, I would feel bad if I cut her stomach. I'm like, oh my god, she killed Perona when she was pregnant. And I was like, dude, Hayase is f***ed up. Feeling the same thing as what Fushi was feeling. Just kill Hayase, because she, honestly, if anyone deserved to die, I would completely agree with that statement if Hayase deserved to die, because God, I was so mad. Hayase became like a extremely dangerous cockroach, and it was like, please, she can't be around anymore. She's psychotic. And then obviously we see that whole thing going on with like how she wants to be with Fushi. Hayase wants to be part of Fushi's life, and like this whole sexual attraction when towards him. And I was like, okay, she's more than just psychotic. She's a creep as well. Like, what the And then the part where the knockers come back, and this time they're taking over dead bodies, and then 3 of the kids in the group end up dying, and it's like, what the fuck, dude? More dead kids. Thanks, anime. Eventually, Fushi and Tonari win, and like Tonari decides to stay behind and make the prison island a good place for people to like prosper, which that was a really good character development for her. I really like that. And then Fushi takes Hayase, starts rowing across the ocean, and then that's when we see how fucking creepy and psychotic Hayase is, and Fushi eventually decides to not kill her, and then just decides to just leave her stranded out in the middle of the ocean. Okay, I can accept that. And then the one of the knocker things comes up onto the boat and then attacks her. I'm like, okay, so she's definitely dead now. Even if she's like like a knocker zombie, she is at least dead. I was like, okay, she's not a problem anymore. Like, jeez. And then the rest of the anime was just Fushi and Pyoran just traveling together, avoiding knockers, And yeah, and then obviously Pjordan is really old and she's going to die soon, and so she like starts becoming senile, and it's like, yeah, Pjordan is eventually just gonna die, and eventually she did die. That was a sad moment. But I want to see what happened. What exactly happened when she died, because the Man in Black said he would take Pjordan before she went to paradise, which he did, but it was like the orb. But when you saw it, it was like it looked like she turned into one of his orbs, like Fushi. And I was like, okay. So when is this gonna come around? Maybe we'll see another form of Pjordan in the second season. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what will come of that moment, but yeah, that's basically the end of the anime there. Yeah, so that's all I had to talk about. I really enjoyed the anime a lot, and I am super excited for when season 2 comes out. When does season 2 come out? Hold on. So season 2 apparently comes out in October of next year. Can't wait to see that. If you want to see more content from about me talking about anime, be sure to subscribe, because I'm going to be watching more anime, obviously. I'm going to be making more anime videos because I love watching anime. It's a lot of fun. The anime that's coming out this year, I'm super excited for, because it is some of my favorite anime, and the anime are getting more seasons, and I'm super excited to watch more of it. Can't wait to watch more anime this year. That's all for me. That's it. That's the end of the video. That's it. That's